City and Buffalo game. And, Colin, I know no one wants to hear this, and for sure the NFL and the people of Park Ave, they don't want to hear this either. But I thought the referees got in the way. And I thought that fourth down spot by Josh Allen was bogus. And even, who was it, Kincaid, one of the tight ends, who got over the line, and they gave him a miserable spot before the Josh Allen fourth down, which I thought was a first down. So I thought the referees got in the way as well. I think we need to have a conversation about McDermott, too. Is McDermott ever going to be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs? Why is he going for 2 so early in the ball game? So a lot of things.
Well, you're going for 2. I mean, you don't want to chase points late in the game, but it would have been a 2-point game versus a 1-point game. A lot of it is negligible.
Sure.
But I understand. Now
sure.
You're looking back, it would have been 30 comparatively to 29.
Hindsight 2020. I understand that, and if they would have converted, we probably wouldn't talk about it, but that's you got to live with the decisions that you made. Bad game in Eagles and Commanders, good game in the Chiefs and the Bills, but I told you before the show started, we knew how that was going to end. I mean, we knew how that was, right? We knew how that was going to end when we were watching the inevitable.
Why'd you take the Bills money line?
It's like it was one of those things where at the moment, you're like, oh, God, this could finally be the year, right? This is finally going to be the year Josh Allen gets over the hump of the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. And then when it was a one-score, when it was close, it was a one-score game, it was a tie game, in the back of your head, you go, God, the Chiefs are going to win this somehow, aren't they? And that's the gut feeling that I had watching that game at the end. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like when it happens, Colin, it happens. And once again, the inevitable happened, and the Kansas City Chiefs are on their way to the Super Bowl.
Well, the same thing we were saying after they beat the Houston Texans in the divisional round is the same thing that we are saying after the Bills game. There are a multitude of times in this game where the refs got in the way. The refs made some calls that either should be reviewable from upstairs, should be challengeable, whatever it may be. There should be more technology at hand. That 4th and 1, the 4th and inches.
Disgrace.
With about 13 minutes to go, up 22-21, Buffalo was up at the Kansas City 41-yard line with a chance to go up big and to really put them away if they gone down and scored. 4th and inches, they do the same QB sneak that they did 7 or 8 times throughout the game, and they were called short. Tony Romo, to his credit, even in the broadcast, remarked how the side judge came in above the line like it was a first down and slowly adjusted to before the line to make it short.
Yep.
It was a very weird turn of events because for a couple things, it makes you think, why aren't they using more technology for this? Why aren't the balls are chipped? If there's an upstairs to determine the spot, because if it's going to be this close, if it's going to be this tricky to determine in these heads of bodies, I even thought it was clear on the replay.
Yep.
The second they showed the above the head of Josh Allen in that dog pile, when they showed that, he was clearly above the line. So, but then everybody goes, oh, well, you can't overturn it. Well, if the call on the field was botched, why should the replay lean into the fact that they need to overturn the botched call comparatively to not? For that type of call, shouldn't you get it right? Mm-hmm. It's not about admitting you were wrong. It's about getting it right. And, you could argue back and forth. It was so close. It really was inches. I thought it was clear, but the referees clearly disagreed. There was multiple times in that game where Sterator, the rules analyst on the broadcast, was clearly unimpressed with the referee's performance, if there's a way to put it.
No, you're right. And he even said it on the play we're talking about. He goes, I don't know, guys. I think you got it.
I've done that. Yeah.
And then, Kyle, I want to take it a step further, too. I really thought Kincaid's was a first down on the 3rd down. I thought Kincaid's knee wasn't down and the ball was over the line. And then that back judge on that one came in and marked him criminally short. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Now, there's one thing to be said about, absolutely, 22-21. It changes the game because the Chiefs went right down the field and scored the second they had that turnover on downs. But to that point, the Bills had the ball driving down 32-29, and they couldn't get it done.
Yep.
And they couldn't get it done. So if you want to be complaining to the referees about the worthy catch, which I'm a little indifferent on because I see both sides there. The ball didn't move when it hit the ground, but to the same token, he probably didn't have possession coming in. But the Bills had a chance to win the game, to go down and win. If it was flipped, you think Mahomes would have done it?
Yeah.
Probably. Not a soul in that building would have thought that Patrick Mahomes would squander that drive. But to what the Bills did, they let the pressure get to him. The offensive line completely blew up. And a little conservative play calls here and there put the Bills in a tough spot. When it's 3rd and 10 at the midpoint of the field and you're throwing a quick screen to Amari Cooper to get 4 yards to set up a 4th and 5, 4th and 6, you cannot be surprised when you don't get that 4th down. So there's two, and I saw the same thing from Joe Brady in that offense in that Baltimore game. A little too conservative. Mm-hmm. And there's times where they don't pick and choose their moments properly. Josh Allen is probably sailing it deep when he doesn't need to, or he is trying to play hero ball, or on the other side of things, they're too conservative. So they had a chance to win the game, and they didn't. So how much can you really complain about the refs when it was 32-29 and they had 3 minutes to go going down the field? I cannot write home too much about that call, but to the point we always mention, every single game the Chiefs play, it's always something. It is always something with the officials.
It is. And I really did think it was conservative. I agree with you on that point. The play calling by Brady or whoever you want to say was way too conservative. 4th and 5 at the Buffalo, 47. You're almost in field goal range at that point. 2-3 more plays, you're probably in field goal range and you're going to overtime. You got to find a way to win the game. I could sit here and complain about the refereeing all I want. Now, I go back to what you just said. If you get that 1st down and you score again, maybe you have a chance to bury them, fine. But you have a chance to either tie the game or take the lead at the end of the game. You got no one to blame but yourselves. And that's why I'm starting to ask the questions about Sean McDermott. Is it a little unfair? Sure. Have the Bills dominated their division? Yes. Have they made playoff appearance after playoff appearances? Josh Allen grown into one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Yes. But you have to find a way to win that game. And Josh Allen said it after the game. In order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And they came up short again, 0-4 in the playoffs. 0-4 in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs, I think speaks for itself. And if you're a Buffalo Bill fan, it stinks. Like, you got such a great team. You have one of the best quarterbacks in recent memory, and you just have an absolute juggernaut in front of you. I feel for the Bill fans, and I feel for the organization who's probably in a tough spot now, Colin, with what they should do with Sean McDermott.
I understand the point. Do you make a change? Are you hitting the same tree in the same spot, expecting different results, and now you want to change it up a little bit? I don't know if I'd go that far at the moment, but the bottom line is the Bills got hurt by the referees, absolutely. But you got to expect that the Chiefs are going to get a couple calls here and there.
Right.
Now, to that point, that 4th down conversion, probably changes the game if they get it. But to the same token, 3 minutes to go, going down the field, down 3 points, you got to make something happen. At the very least, getting a field goal.
You're already on the 47-yard line.
So you can't get conservative on 3rd and 10 throwing a bubble screen to Amari Cooper, expecting him to turning it into a 4th and mid instead of going for the 1st down. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a little conservative, running the ball a little earlier that drive. They stayed away from James Cook. A lot to do. But it's Rushion Rizzo on ESPN 106.3 live from TGL.